Hi, I'm Sister Geralyn Schmidt, and you're listening to Musings from a Catholic Evangelist.
So, we have experienced in today's world a conscious shift, a change. The world has changed in a matter of months. We've heard people call out, "You are not alone. We're doing this together." We watched thousands and thousands of people die. We watched thousands of people lose their jobs. And the economic insecurity has become part of our life. More of us has learned to work from home with all the home responsibilities plus the work responsibilities all blending together. And now one voice was heard, a voice that cried out, "I can't breathe." I don't know if the silence of working from home and the isolation has changed our collective consciousness to finally hear that one voice crying out, "I can't breathe," or maybe the experience of wearing a face mask, in which "I can't breathe" is a common reality. But racism, that's a beginning conversation that a lot of people have decided to jump into and begin to scream, and others aren't touching it with a 10-foot pole. I am touching it, not with a 10-foot pole. I grew up in a very rural, suburban area of New Jersey, and everybody I associated as a child, and even as a teen, most as a teen, looked like me. So how am I going to, as a white woman, from that type of point of view, talk about racism? My voice is incredible. My first experience of a woman of color came from when I was in first grade. I was 6, and she was my first grade teacher. I thought she was the most beautiful woman I have ever saw in my entire life. I still do. Her skin was dark. Her eyes were black. Her hair was black. Her teeth were white. But the way she treated us with utter respect and love, she taught us where we're coming from and brought us to a deeper reality. She taught us how to pray as first graders. I used to love to sneak and watch her receive communion and watch her commune with our dearest Lord. She was an amazing teacher. She taught me a lot about God, not so much by her words and actions, but by how she treated us. And she expected us to treat one another the way Christ has treated us, out of love, out of mutual respect. Even though we have difference in personalities, and I grew up with that. I grew up with the realization of that gift. So I don't understand acute hatred. I just don't. Back in 1979, the USS bishops wrote a pastoral letter on racism called "Brothers and Sisters to Us." And let me read you one paragraph from that document. It says, "Racism is a sin that divides the human family, blots out the image of God among specific members of the family, and violates the fundamental human dignity of those called to be children of the same Father. Racism is a sin that says some human beings are inherently superior and others are essentially inferior because of race. It is the sin that makes racial characteristics the determining factor for the exercise of human rights. Racism is more than disregard for the words of Jesus. It's a denial of the truth of the dignity of each human being revealed by the mystery of the Incarnation. And that was written back in 1979. I think collectively we've begun to understand that. We've begun to listen. And listening is the key, because how can people from different perspectives and different cultures and different understand the idea of prejudice, understand the woundedness and the pain that sin creates, except by listening? If we don't listen, we wound up in a ball. We create havoc to those human beings around us because we propagate hatred and racism. By not doing anything, we propagate misunderstanding. So take the time to think about it. Take the time to listen to people's differences. Take the time to pray.
You're listening to Musings from a Catholic Evangelist, and I'm Sister Geralyn.